Hello my dear friends. So the question is target sum. I will explain you the question. Okay. So basically what is given in this question, an array will be given to us. Correct? And a sum is given that we want target sum as 1. So in this question what we can do is we can use plus or minus sign and make the equation, and we want the desired outcome. Okay, I will tell you how. Suppose on the first value I use plus 1, then I use minus 1, then I use minus 2, then plus 3. Okay, so basically what is going to happen, this is going to get cancelled out and 3 minus 2 will be 1, so we are going to get output as 1. Okay, now let us see, can we use some different sign to get output as 1. Okay, so what I am going to do, here I have used plus then minus, I can use like this also. Okay, so this is also a equation, this will give output as 1. Correct? Now are there any more possible ways? Let's check. Let us apply plus 1, plus 1, plus 2 and minus 3. So 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4, 4 minus 3 1. Yes, this is also possible. So if you are going to try it further, okay, let's try it out. Let's give minus sign to both the ones. Okay, and let us give plus sign to both. So 3 plus this are going to get cancelled out, we are going to get outcome as 3, but what we want sum as 1. It means it is not possible. So here there are 3 ways, so output will be 3. So we have to find how many such cases are possible. I hope problem statement is clear now. So basically let's try to convert this question to the question that we have solved earlier. Perfect. So the question was like this. An array was given to us. What are the values? 1, 1, 2 and 3. And we want final sum as 1. We can use any plus and minus signs. Okay. So what we can do here is, let us try to find it out. What we were doing, we were assigning the signs. Okay, like this, plus 1, then minus 1, then minus 2, plus 3, and we were getting some output as 1. Okay, so if you are going to observe this properly, can we write like this, 1 plus 3, then minus 2 and 1. Okay, I have taken all the negative to one side and all the positive to one side, and then we have got output as 1, because 3 plus 4 is 4, 4 minus 3 will be again 1. Correct? This is the first observation, that what we have done, if we are going to write all the plus to one side and all the minus to the one side, we are getting the solution. Correct? What was the another thing? It was like this, minus 1 plus 1, minus 2 plus 3. Here also we can do like this, 1 and 3 are here, I am taking minus sign common, here also we are going to get 1. So basically in question, an array was given with the elements 1, 1, 2 and 3. So what we have done, we have divided this into 2 arrays. Okay, I am taking this example, minus 1 plus 1, minus 2 plus 3. Here we are getting output as 1. So we have put 1 and 3 one side, and we have put 1 and 2 on other side, and then we have applied a negative sign on this, and we have got the answer as 1. It means what we have done, we have divided this array into 2 sub arrays such that their difference is given. It means s1 minus s2 value is given us as difference. Okay, so it is the same problem that we have done in the last video, but if you haven't seen the last video, you can continue here also. It means we have to divide this question, we have to divide this array into 2 sub arrays such that the difference is given. Okay, so our question statement is changed now. It means here also you can say that, suppose if we take this example. Okay, so what we have done, we have divided into 2 arrays, 1, 1 and 2, and other was 3. and if you are going to subtract it now, you are going to get value as 1. Okay, so I hope you got it. What is the question now? That we need to divide an array into two sub-arrays such that their difference is given. It means this is our first equation. Difference is given in the question. Now let us observe one more thing. What is the value of S1? S1 value is 4, S2 value is 3. If you are going to add both of them, S1 plus S2, 4 plus 3, it will become 7. And if you are going to add all the elements of the array, 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 1 6, 6 plus 1 7, what you are going to get? You are going to get sum of array. Okay, this is our second equation. Perfect. So we have two unknowns, S1 and S2, and two equations. So we can add both of them. So we are going to get 2 times of S1 is equal to difference plus sum of array. Okay, so what will be the value of S1? It will be difference plus sum of array by 2. Let us check whether we are getting the same S1 or not. So what was the difference given in the question? Difference was given was 1. What was the sum of array? This was the array 1, 1, 2 and 3. So sum of array will be 7 by 2. 7 plus 1, 8 by 2 will be 4. It means the first subset sum is going to be 4. Okay, so let us check. We are getting we have got the 3 examples, right? Plus 1, minus 2, plus 3. Another one was minus 1 plus 1 minus 2 plus 3. Okay, so and one was 1 plus 1 plus 2 minus 3. Okay, so if we are going to write the subset of the last one, what was the sum of first subset? 1 1. Okay, these were the two subset. So S1 value was 4. Yes, here also we have got, by the formula also we are getting 4, and here also we have got the value as 4. Okay, let us take this one. Let us write plus here and minus here. So here also the sum of first subset is 4. It means we have got one thing, that first of all what we need to find? We need to find that S1. Okay, so basically what is now our question converted now? An array was given to us with the elements 1, 1, 2, 3, and required sum was 1. Correct? Or you can write like this. Okay, required sum is 1. This is given in the question. So what we have done, we have divided into two sub-arrays. Let us, this is S1 and this is S2, such that their difference is given. Or you can write required sum. Correct? So first of all, we have converted our question into count the number of such arrays whose difference is given. Then we got to know that here if we are going to solve, we need to find out two variables, S1 and S2. So we have used the basic maths, and what we have done, we have eliminated one variable. Now our target is to find only S1. Means we have to find the number of subset. What we have to do? We need to find number of subset whose sum is given. Okay, our question is converted into like this. It means an array was given. Now we need to find how many subset are possible, whose sum is equal to this S1, that is difference plus sum by 2. So we will get to know that if you are going to make subset 1, 1, 2, you are going to get sum as 4. If you are using this 1 and 3, you are going to get sum as 4. If you are going to use this 1 and 3, we are going to get sum as 4. So output will be 3, and this was our answer. So we need to check how many subsets we can form by this, and this was the first question of our series. Okay, we know that this can be solved in the multiple ways. Okay, there are two ways to solve this question. First is recursive approach, second one is dynamic programming. So I will explain you both the approaches, recursive as well as dynamic programming. Okay, so what we have to do in the recursive approach? In recursive approach, we need two things. First is base condition. Another thing what we required is choice diagram. Okay, so a array is given to us, correct, with the elements 1, 1, 2, 3. What is the size of this array? 4. And S1 is required as 4, correct, for this question. So we have to find how many such subset are formed whose sum is equal to 4, correct. This is our question. So first of all, what we have to do, we are going to find the base condition. So in recursive solution, what happens is we are trying to reduce the input. Okay, so first of all, we are going to go on the 3 and we are going to see whether we are getting, should we choose 3 or not. Then we will go to 2, okay, and we will see are we going to choose this 2 or not. Then we are going to this 1 and then we are going to take the decisions. Either we need to select it or leave it, correct. So if n value will become 0, okay, so first of all, what we have to do, we have to take the decision on this element, then this element, then this element, then this element. So if we have taken decision on all the elements, correct, if n is equal to 0, what we need to return, we need to return 0. It means if there are no elements in the array, suppose if there is no element in the array, are you going to get sum as 4? No, we are never going to get sum as 4. It means if this n is equal to 0, we are going to return 0, means we are never going to get sum as 0. This is correct, because in recursive solution, what we have to do, we have to see the minimum possible outcome. And tell me one thing, if sum becomes 0, suppose you want sum as 0, so are you going to get it? Yes, if you are going to choose null set, so the sum of all the elements of the null set is equal to 0. It means there is one possible null set. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to return 1. So this will be our base condition. Perfect, because these are the two things that are going to be changed. See, if number of elements are 0, if there is no element in the array, we are not going to get sum as 4. So that's why we return 0. Again, if sum is 0, okay, so can we get an array? Yes, if you are going to choose null array, the sum of the elements of the null array is 0. So we are going to get 1. One possible case. So we have written 1. Correct. So this is the base condition. Now let us move to the choice diagram. Okay. So elements of the array are 1, 1, 2 and 3. We want sum as 4. Now for example, let's say if the array was given like this, 1, 1, 2 and 6. So first of all, for choice diagram, what we have to check, that if array element is greater than sum. Okay, if you tell me one thing, if 6 is given, are you going to choose 6? We want final sum as 4 and here 6 is given. Are you going to choose this? No. Okay, so it is clear that if that element is greater than the sum, we are not going to choose it. Okay, if this is less than the sum, suppose 3 was there, if it is less than the sum, then we have to take decision, either select it or leave it. Then we have to take the decision. So this is the choice diagram. Perfect. So again I am going to explain you the choice diagram. Elements are 1, 1, 2 and 3. Required sum was 4. So you have to take decision whether you need to select 3 or leave 3. Okay, so if you are going to leave 3, okay, then there will no issue. Okay, suppose if you are going to select 3, what you have to think. Okay, if you are going to select 3, okay, so let's say we have selected 3. It means now our sum is 3 because we have got one element in our subset. So sum of this subset is 3. So now we want final sum as 4. So for what we have to look now? We have to look for 4 minus 3, that is 1. We have to check whether we are going to get 1 in this subset or not. Okay, it means if you are going to select an element, you final sum will be reduced. Final sum, if we have selected 3, our sum has become 1. Okay, so what happened? If we have choose sum, we need to select, okay, from the required sum. It will be sum minus array of n minus 1. Okay, this was the element array of n minus 1 and sum was already there. It means sum is going to be updated. Okay, now let us write the recursive solution. So I am going to write like this. Def is the Python keyword. You can write int or Java if you are using. So def, let's say this question is subset sum. Which will take array, size of array and sum. Okay, so in recursive solution we need to write base condition. So if n is equal to 0, if there are no elements in the array, then return 0. If s1 sum is equal to 0, yes, we are going to get 1. Okay, now we need to, this was the base condition. Now we need to write the choice diagram. Perfect. So in choice diagram I told you, if the value in the array is greater than the required sum, so in that case we are not going to select it. Okay, what we are going to do, we are going to leave that element. It means we are going to call this recursive function subset sum with the array, but now the size of array will be decreased. Okay, I told you na, this is 1 1 2 and suppose this is 6. If you are not going to select this element, we need to leave this. So now what will be the size of array? It will be n minus 1. So we are going to pass the array again, but the number of elements will be n minus 1 and the sum will be as it is because we haven't selected that sum. Okay, else if it is smaller, suppose if it is 3 here. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to take decision, either we should select 3 or not 3. Okay, it means we have to return, first of all I am going to write, if we are going to leave the 3, it means we need to pass array. If we are leaving the element, okay, so now also size of array will be decreased, so it will be n minus 1 and sum will also not change, because if you are not going to select 3, so final sum s1 will be 4 only. Perfect. Or if you are going to select this subset, so we are going to do, we are going to pass the array again. Now what you have done, you have selected 3. So you have taken the decision on the element 3. Now you have to take decision on the rest of the element. It means now the size of array will be reduced. But this time sum is also going to be reduced. So I told you it will be s1 minus array of n minus 1. Okay. And at the end what we want? We want all the cases. Okay. Okay, we want all the cases. So what we are going to use? We are going to use the plus sign. Okay. So this is our final recursive solution. So in recursive solution what we have done, first we have written the base condition, then we have written the choice diagram. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can watch my earlier videos. I have explained you the recursive solution as well as dynamic programming solution. So basically I am going to summarize this question. Question was like this: an array is given with the values 1 1 2 and 3 and we want required sum as 1. So we told that if you are going to use plus and minus sign, so it will be easy if you are going to divide this and we are going to get given difference. Perfect. Then we got to know that it will be equals to sum of array. Then we thought that there are two variables. Let us decrease the variables and find s1. It will be difference plus sum of array by 2. Perfect. Then we got to know that an array is given to us, we need to check how many such subset are possible whose sum is s1, and then we finally return the answer. Okay, I hope you got this solution. I will explain you DP solution. In DP what you have to do, you have to make a matrix. Okay, that will be n plus 1 and sum plus 1. So what is the value of n? N value was 4, so it will be 5 comma, required sum was again 4, 5 comma 5. So you can make 5 comma 5 matrix. I'm just making a rough matrix. So in dynamic programming, what we have to do? We need to fill this row and this column manually. So here what is going to happen? Here we have array of elements, and this is required sum. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Let us make one more row here. Perfect. So first of all, here what this this block tells us that array have 0 element. Okay, initially array was like this 1, 1, 2 and 3. This block says that array have no element. 0 means no element in the array, but you want sum as 1. Is it possible? No, it's not possible. So we are going to fill this with 0. What this says that you have one element in the array, that is 1, first element. Can you get sum as 0? Yes, we can get sum as 0 if we are going to choose null subset. Okay, if we are going to choose null subset, we are going to get sum as 0. It means it is possible, so here 1 will come. Similarly, we need to fill this. Okay, so you have to use a for loop to fill this element and this element, and then again what you have to do, you have to use the same method. That first of all, what we have to use, we are going to apply a for loop for I is equal to 0, I is less than n plus 1, I plus plus. I hope you can fill this first row and first element. It's very easy. Again I am going to use a for loop for j is equal to 0, j is less than sum plus 1, j plus plus. Then if array of I minus 1, n is changed into I, is greater than j, so what you are going to do, you are going to leave that element. So dp of I comma j will be equals to dp of I minus 1 comma j. I minus 1 means we are going to leave that element, and we are going to not take any decision on that element. Else what you need to do, you need to fill the elements of the dp, either select it or leave it. So this is the logic to leave it, and if you are going to select it, so the sum will be reduced. It will be array of n minus I minus 1, and at the end we have to add all the solution. Okay, and at the end what you need to do, you need to return dp of n comma sum. It means we have to return this element. What this block tells us? This block tells us we have all the 4 elements in the array. What are the 4 elements? 1, 1, 2, 3. And we want required sum as 4. So basically what happens in DP is, finally we want this solution. But instead of directly getting this solution, we are going to break this problem into small problems, and then finally we are going to get our final solution here. That's why we return dp of n comma sum. I hope you got the complete method. It was a little big video, but I think it cleared all your concept. Thank you.